Mountains, as one of the most magnificent natural landscapes on Earth, have always attracted a large number of mountaineering and tourism enthusiasts. Among them, the top 10 highest peaks in the world are considered the ultimate goals for climbers. Let's explore these 10 awe-inspiring mountains together. Mount Everest, with an elevation of 8,848.86 meters, 29,031.7 feet, is located at the border between China and Nepal. Its northern part lies within the Tibet Autonomous Region of China, in Dingri County of the Shigatse Prefecture, while its southern part is situated in Nepal. It is the highest peak in the world and the main summit of the Himalayas, perpetually covered in snow, with a massive pyramidal shape. It features vast glaciers, and at the foot of the mountain, you can find the world's highest altitude temple, the Rongbuk Monastery. On May 29, 1953, the New Zealand expedition reached the summit, marking the first recorded successful ascent of Mount Everest by humans. On May 25, 1960, a Chinese expedition reached the summit from the northern slope, marking the first successful ascent from that side. Mount K2, located at the border between Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in China and Pakistan, stands at an elevation of 8,611 meters, 28,251 feet, and is the second highest peak in the world. Mount K2 is the main peak of the Karakoram Range and presents the greatest climbing difficulty among the 8,000-meter peaks. The first successful ascent by humans took place in 1954. On July 27, 2004, a Tibetan mountaineering team achieved the first ascent from the northern slope. On January 16, 2021, a team of 10 Sherpas successfully summited K2 in winter, marking the first ever winter ascent of K2 by humans. Mount K2 has a pyramid-shaped summit, with steep icy cliffs and treacherous slopes marked by avalanche chutes. Its climbing difficulty surpasses that of Mount Everest, earning it the reputation as one of the most dangerous mountains with a fatality rate exceeding 27%. Kangchenjunga, situated at an altitude of 8,586 meters, 28,169 feet, lies on the border between Nepal and India in the middle section of the Himalayas. It is also the easternmost of the 14 8,000ers in the world. From any angle, Kangchenjunga presents a vast and massive mountain massif composed of 4 distinct peaks. The first successful ascent was achieved by a British expedition in 1955. On May 9, 1998, a Chinese expedition from Tibet reached the summit, marking the first Chinese ascent of Kangchenjunga. Due to its location on the windward side of the moisture-laden southwest monsoon, Kangchenjunga has abundant glacier supply, fast-flowing glaciers, and numerous crevasses. Combined with unpredictable and harsh weather conditions, as well as the threat of avalanches and icefalls, Kangchenjunga has earned the reputation as a killer mountain. Lhotse, located at the border between China and Nepal, has an elevation of 8,516 meters, 27,940 feet, and is the 4th highest peak in the world. Lhotse means South Peak in the Tibetan language, as it is situated about 3 kilometers south of Mount Everest, with a mountain col known as the South Col separating the two peaks. Lhotse features majestic and steep slopes, with massive active glaciers, frequent icefalls, and avalanches. Especially from the base camp to Camp 1, the area is covered by ancient moraines and enormous glaciers. The terrain is complex, the route is long, with steep ice slopes and countless massive crevasses. To this day, no successful ascent has been made from the eastern slope within Chinese territory. The first successful ascent was achieved by a Swiss expedition in 1956. Mount Makalu is located at the border between Tibet Autonomous Region in China and Nepal. It has an elevation of 8,463 meters, 27,766 feet, and is the 5th highest peak in the world. The summit of Mount Makalu is perpetually covered in thick snow and ice, with massive glaciers distributed in the valleys and numerous steep crevasses on the glaciers. Icefalls and avalanches are frequent occurrences. The name Makalu translates to Black Great Peak in the Tibetan language, describing its exposed black rock surfaces under strong winds. The first successful ascent of Mount Makalu was achieved by a French expedition in 1955. Cho Oyu is located on the border between China, Tibet, to the north and Nepal to the south, with a northeast-southwest ridge dividing it. It has an elevation of 8,201 meters, 26,906 feet, and is the sixth highest peak in the world. Cho Oyu is the most accessible and relatively easier among the mountains above 8,000 meters, making it popular among climbers. The technical requirements for climbing Cho Oyu are comparatively moderate. The first successful ascent was achieved by an Austrian expedition in 1954. Dhaulagiri is located within Nepal and has an elevation of 8,167 meters, 26,795 feet, making it the seventh highest peak in the world. The name Dhaulagiri translates to White Mountain in Nepali. It is situated about 300 kilometers east of Mount Everest and is known for its treacherous and intimidating terrain, earning it the nickname the Devil's Mountain. The first successful ascent was achieved by a Swiss expedition in 1960. Manaslu, also known as Manaslu, is located within Nepal and has an elevation of 8,163 meters, 26,781 feet, making it the eighth highest peak in the world. In the Tibetan language, it is referred to as Khutan Kongri or Khutan Mountain, which means a flat place, describing its broad summit. Manaslu resembles a sharp sword piercing the sky, standing proudly with its exceptionally steep and rugged features. The mountain is covered in thick snow and ice, with massive glaciers distributed in the valleys and serrated cliffs and crevasses on the glaciers. Avalanches and snowfalls are frequent occurrences. It is considered highly challenging to climb, ranking only behind K2, Annapurna, and Nanga Parbat among the 8,000-meter peaks. The first successful ascent was achieved by a Japanese expedition in 1956. Nanga Parbat, with an elevation of 8,125 meters, 26,660 feet, is the ninth highest peak in the world. It consists of 5 snow-capped peaks and is located in the western part of the Himalayas in the Gilgit-Baltistan region of Pakistan-administered Kashmir. To its south lies the world's largest rock face, the Rupal Face, which spans 15,000 feet in length. The first attempts to climb Nanga Parbat involved navigating a narrow ridge, and the complex climbing route has earned it the reputation of being a killer mountain due to its high fatality rate. In 1953, an Austrian climber successfully reached the summit, but the expedition resulted in the tragic loss of 11 team members and 15 porters. Annapurna is located within Nepal and has an elevation of 8,091 meters, 26,545 feet, making it the 10th highest peak in the world. Annapurna is considered one of the most dangerous mountains in the world above 8,000 meters due to its large snow masses and frequent avalanches. It has been recorded with a fatality rate of 41% on its summit attempts. In recent years, the death rate on Annapurna has been gradually decreasing, but it still maintains a high fatality rate of around 35%, making it one of the most perilous mountains. The climate on Annapurna is characterized by complex and unpredictable weather conditions. Intense monsoon rains brought by the southeast monsoon trigger frequent ice falls and avalanches, creating a harsh environment of fog, snow, and ice. The first successful ascent was achieved by a French expedition in 1953. Out of the 10 highest peaks in the world, which one would you like to visit the most?